The thing I don't understand about America is we're the pioneers in so many things, and also we're so behind on other things. Like what?
Yo, honestly, do
Isn't
we
it
just
like
brag about it? Like, do we just say that we are?
like are we
Like, we've been
actually
told
pioneers?
for so long that we're the best that we're like, oh shit, our healthcare actually
Are we
kinda
actually
sucks.
good at anything?
like, oh, bro, we're like 138th in freaking health in the world. There's not that
Every
many
category.
countries. Bro, we're freaking like 7th of the continents in so many things.
Like, isn't it most of the world has been using bidets for like
Yeah,
years,
yeah.
decades, centuries?
Bro, we
Probably
win
not
in
so.
like we win in like a few things. Like we win in like we have the most prisoners of any continent. Like, okay, not continent, country. I know my stuff.
Yeah,
You
and
know
not
what I'm
to,
saying?
yeah, no, yeah, one of those. All right,
Yeah, one of those. I mean, technically, we're on a continent.
And not to get political in any kind of way, but I did see
Yeah.
a map of like countries that have universal healthcare,
hmm
and it's like us, and then like these tiny ass islands over here
Yeah,
to like the right, somewhere on the map.
bro. It's the Virgin Islands, which are our islands. Like
Everything else
it's
was the
Hawaii,
same.
bro. Those little islands are Hawaii.
We were the only damn country that was red, except for these little spots
Yo.
over here.
To that point, what I've heard is one of the reasons that a lot of economists talk about
Economists
why
are definitely
economists. You know those
economists.
economists, the economist.
Those are the
That's
like economists for cannabis,
Exactly,
Yes.
economists. All they talk about is like weed stock.
right?
But anyways, but they talk about because America is so diverse, which is a good thing, it actually makes it really difficult to have a lot of universal stuff because everyone's health, life, where they come from. I mean, they're coming from all over the world. It makes it really challenging. It's one of the reasons why it's taken us so long to do anything socialized. It actually is very difficult here. I think Australia was something similar.
Yeah, that does
Mhm.
make sense to an extent.
Like you have places like Denmark or Norway or something, and they have like universal everything, but literally everyone's the same. There's 99% Viking people there. They're all
And they're-
dealing with the same health issues, the same whatever, and there's
And their
no one coming in
population is
and
like 5 million.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
they're super small.
one's-
Everybody's almost the same. Nobody wants to go from Mexico and Canada and Afghanistan and all those countries to Denmark. Like
Right.
they're going to somewhere that's a little more spacious and it's way
Opportunity.
more diverse.
Yeah.
There's probably like way more religions here that are practiced
Oh, for sure.
in like those smaller countries. But I think we'll get there. We'll have something that is helpful to everybody.
Yeah.
But
I
it's
think
gonna be super
eventually-
hard.
I think eventually it won't become a political issue. It'll just be like even we've talked about with AIs, we've talked about with other stuff where it's just like, oh, this is like the only way to do a version of this, and it won't be capitalist versus socialist. It'll be like there's like this is the only option here,
Yeah.
and that'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, I
100%.
always am very like it doesn't make sense to me when people compare, these smaller countries where it's not as diverse to like America, where it's literally you can practice whatever religion you want. Even if you wanted to worship Satan, you could do that here.
Mhm.
Or you could be from anywhere you want. Like, like you're saying, probably not 99% of the people are all the same in Denmark or Switzerland or whatever it is, but they're pretty close to
Largely,
that
yeah.
demographic, I guess. But it's hard to compare. But
Sure.
I think we're doing pretty good for being as diverse as we can be. I mean, we
And,
at
dude,
least we're like Saudi Arabia has way more money than us, and they just let I would think that having money would associate to like being more diverse or having a better, stronger economy or something like that. But like they just let women drive, and I think that's a pretty big something that kind of puts us ahead of some other people that
yeah.
Us, what? Say it.
No, we good. Keep going. You're about to say something real vital.
Well, then go ahead, buddy. That's what
No,
we're here
you
for.
were. You're saying something real vital. Go for it. It's just not worth saying.
It made me think of a tweet that was like, I don't know why people wonder why marriages used to last so much more than they do nowadays. It's because like women couldn't even have their own bank account without a husband up until like
Oh,
1970. That might have
Damn.
something to do with it.
Yo,
didn't know
well, they
that.
couldn't do anything, man. They had no like autonomy in their life.
Like they literally relied on their husbands for
Yeah.
so many things, and you wonder
well, and
why.
so
Crazy.
many of the jobs were like very difficult. I mean, it was industrial, it was work, it was fields, it was whatever. Like it was stuff that not many people were gonna do.
Right.
And so it's like
Yeah.
that was the only way to make money was to do those incredibly challenging physical jobs. And so, I mean, it was just a very, very limited time. The other thing to
Yeah.
the point of like, we were talking about all the differences between the countries and stuff is we are still a very young system. I think we forget that. Like if you think
Right.
about how much you look even like in the Middle East and Europe and stuff, like some of these communities and these countries that have been established for thousands of years of working a certain way that haven't changed that much. And then you look at how quickly, even though it seems like it's freaking snail pace for us here, like when you look at race issues and you look at equality issues and all of these different discrepancies and issues that we're having, compared to time that's moved in other countries, we are still moving forward. It gives me hope. Like we are still moving forward in the right direction, I feel, at a fair pace. Of course, want it to go faster. Like I just want everything to be fixed. But we're a 250-year-old country. That's pretty wild.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's interesting that you bring up the fact that you used to have to do like really labor intensive jobs to even be able to like support yourself or kind of compare yourself to a man that's doing the same job, right? But now you can have a job that you work at a computer and you can be even more productive than somebody that's in the steel yard or doing lumber or something like that. Like women coding is super good for women, I would say, because they could do like I have to say that coding has more to do with being organized and having to remember things, and women are super organized and they remember a lot of
generally
things,
better at
trust me.
remembering shit. Yeah.
Yeah, more often than not.
And there's still some problems in that. I mean, you hear about women being paid less for the same position
Sure.
as their male coworkers or whatever. But I think it's good that the goal should be equal opportunity.
Right.
That should be the end goal.
Yeah.
So I think we are on the right track. Old
So.
sports.
Shout out to
Yeah,
the
yeah.
women.
It's
Well, I was
just,
gonna
I
say,
feel like
one
it's,
thing
it's a
that-
matter of time before they take over. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, shut it down.
Hey,
listen,
hey,
one thing-
McAfee.
Yo, hey, McAfee, block that shit.
Shut down the system, baby.